everyone, it's Jice with B2B Thrive. Today's video is about branding. And before I get started, I wanted to let you know that November is all about branding. So definitely stay connected with us. Connect to our Facebook, Twitter. We do have a blog. Obviously, we have a YouTube channel. And we will be talking about tips and tricks for branding, just kind of going in and explaining that a little bit more. I think that is a really unclear area for a lot of businesses. So I want to start with talking about what is a brand. A lot of people seem to, especially small businesses, believe that branding is your logo or your website or your business card. And those are all tools of branding, but that's not really what your brand is. Now, let me also state that branding in and of itself, like the term branding, has really changed and fluctuated over time. So unless you have a marketing degree, which I do not, I have a business degree, it can be a very convoluted area, which is fine. So to kind of get into what your brand is, in particular as a small business, it's really the entire customer experience. What does a customer get and feel from you? What do they remember about your organization? So that's kind of what you need to keep in mind. You do want to have an image that a client will remember, that they can recognize. You want to make sure that you have some consistency in your materials and things like that. And so, on that scale, we see people kind of range from really cheap, trying to do it on their own on Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, all the way to really expensive, where people are spending thousands and millions of dollars, depending on the size of the company. Most small businesses are spending hundreds or thousands of dollars in creating their marketing materials. And so although those materials are important, also understanding that your brand is important. So how someone feels when you speak to them, and how your appointments go, or what their experience is when they walk through the door of your store, what they experience when they are trying to reorder from you, or the ease in which your systems work for invoicing them or collecting payments. Things like that all kind of go into a brand. It creates who you are in that customer's mind. So I don't want to make this video too long. I also have a blog about it. But let's talk about 5 quick reasons for why brands die. And if your brand dies, essentially, your business kind of dies with it. So keeping your brand alive is obviously very important to a small business. There are some reasons as to why they die. And then, we'll do a second one about how you can revitalize your brand or keep your brand alive. So let's talk about people not changing. One of the things that happens is change. It's always happening. I think the saying is something like the one consistent is change, something like that. Anyway, so when the times are changing, when trends are changing, if you insist on staying the same, you definitely will run into a time where your brand may become irrelevant to people, or they may see you as being out of date. So that doesn't necessarily mean your image, your logo, or even necessarily your website, although that can definitely go out of date as well. But it could be your whole experience or the services and products that you offer. Maybe you are behind the times in technology and people don't view you as being up to date. And then they begin looking for a business that they feel is more up to date. So that's one way that a brand can die. Another way is especially in small businesses, is if you are your brand. So instead of branding your business, meaning that as contractors or employees come and go, as partners come and go, even if you yourself come and go, if you have a succession plan or something like that, if you are your entire business, if you've branded yourself personally rather than branding your business, when you go, your brand goes. That's the same thing in a partnership. If you have a partnership and your partnership is branded based off of you or your partner or one person in particular, like maybe you're the face of the business and your partner may do all the work on the back end. If you go, the brand goes, or vice versa. Maybe you're the person on the back end and your partner is the face. You want to make sure that your business gets the branding and not your partner's face, because if they go, the business goes. So there is another reason why business brands die. Another reason why your brand could die is due to the fact that you have focused in on a short-term sale versus a long-term relationship with your customer. So if anything like a better deal comes along, or another business that pops up doing the same thing you're doing, something more convenient, any of those things can definitely draw your customer away because they're not attached to your brand. Have you ever seen someone who just absolutely has to shop at Circle K for their gas, or 7-Eleven? They have built accustomed to, or they're accustomed to that brand of gas because they enjoy the experience. Maybe it's the store that's attached to the gas station or something like that. Then you have someone who will shop around for the best price for their gas, and they'll go wherever it is the cheapest price or most convenient. So that's kind of a difference in between someone who has an attachment to your brand versus someone who is just there to purchase something, and because your only concern was the short sale at that time, then you haven't really built up a brand that makes them come back or become repeat customers. Another reason, or really kind of what ties into that, is not having a relationship with your customer. So again, as a small business, relationships are really key. A lot of times your business is focused in on the local community. It starts building with friends and family and things like that. And so if you don't have that relationship, or that relationship is broken, or your brand becomes known for, being more concerned about your own personal pocket rather than the ultimate goal of the customer, that's something that can also cause your brand to die. And the last one that I have for you today is about having too many products or services. This is something I see a lot with small businesses. We want to do everything versus sticking to our niche. And so you don't show a customer or a client that you have a specific purpose. Instead, you try to be a catch-all. And if you roll out with so many products and services at one time, they don't really know what you are there for. They can't really define your business. So being able to have a product or a service that can be defined by your customer will definitely help to secure and solidify your brand in their mind. If they associate you with all types of things, that can really kill the brand in their mind. There is no brand at that point for them. And so if you take the time to slow down, making sure that your brand sticks in with the vision and the mission of your organization or your company would definitely help, as well as taking the time to actually roll out a new product and service the correct way. So not just, one day offering widgets and gadgets and the next day offering lotions and soaps. If you're going to switch up your products, or you want to add in a new service or a product, you have to take the time to strategically roll it out so that it can be properly associated with your brand. So I hope that you find these tips helpful. These are 5 reasons as to why your brand could die. Again, in the link below, you can connect with us because we'll be talking more about branding this month, as well as we have 2 free giveaways this month that will be connected to our social media. So definitely get entered into those once they come out. And also, I will drop the link to my blog, which is also on this topic about why brands die. It kind of goes into a little bit more detail than I gave you on this video. I will also have that in the link below as well. So I hope that this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us, like us, and our website, of course, is www.b2bthrive.com. And I hope to see you back soon.